Hey y'all, what's poppin'? It's your girl Queen and I'm back with another video. So I just wanted to come and kind of reintroduce myself, especially with my following growing and me getting back consistent and everything. So most of my followers right now are still following me from when I used to do jail talk, prison talk, and all that stuff. I still do that, but that's where all of my views, all of my, subscribers and all of the people that actually really interact with me, they come from the jail talk. So if you're looking at my numbers and looking at my subscribers, that's why I have so many subscribers, because my platform got really big a couple of years ago with me doing jail talk and having somebody in prison and stuff like that. So welcome if you're new. My name is Queen. My name is really Queen. I wanted to come in and open up about a story time about my mother's passing. Some of you guys know that I was dealing with a really bad time, a really hard time with drinking a lot, with alcoholism, and I have recently got over it since June of this year. I haven't had a drop to drink since June or July, one of them. I believe it was June though. So my mother passed when I was 24 years old. I was in the Marine Corps. So I found out she had leukemia February of 2019. And was it 2019? 2018. Yes, 2018. It was February 2018. I found out she had leukemia. And I was in the Marine Corps. I remember being out with my family, basically my Marine family. We had went out to eat, and I got a call from my mom, and she was just letting me know what was going on, letting me know basically that she was still feeling okay. She was in good spirits, but I could tell that she was scared, she was nervous. My mom was my best friend, y'all. Like, I used to talk to her every single day. Some of you guys have really kind of shaky relationships with your moms, with daughters and moms. Now, growing up, it was kind of rocky, but majority, me and my mom, that was my best friend. Like, I loved my mom. I could go to my mom about anything. And as we got older and as I became an adult, we really got close. And I used to talk to her every day. We used to FaceTime. I used to go and see them all the time. But when this happened, I really started to travel more. I would have to leave. I was stationed in California at this time, and I would have to leave and go see her and go check on her. I would do that all the time. I mean, like, every month I was leaving to go check on her. And this was when it first started out, so I wasn't leaving as much. I was leaving every month, but I wasn't leaving as much as, when she really started getting sick. So I remember that happening, and I was drinking a little bit, but at the same time I was like, this is my mom, she gonna pull through. She's always pulled through. She had a heart attack before, a mild heart attack before. I believe she was like 45. My mom had me pretty late. Me and my brother, she had me at 31, she had my brother at 33. Oh yeah, you guys. So as time progressed, you guys, of course, the leukemia started getting worse. I really wish I had my old content. I will try to go. I'm not gonna make this hard on myself, but if I really get the strength to, I will go through my Snapchats and kind of show like the process of me being in the hospital with her, always been in the hospital with her. Anytime that I could, I would use the Red Cross to go see her, so I could stay like at least like a month sometimes, especially like when she really got sick. So it came to a point where she started taking, what is that they have to take? Y'all, I'm having a brain fart, forgive me. So it came to a point where she had to start taking her medication, whatever it is. Y'all help me down in the comments below, and forgive me for my ignorance right now. I'm really forgetting what they have to take, and I'm so surprised. I'm so shocked. Everybody should know this, especially like if you know anybody with cancer. What do they have to take, y'all? Help me down in the comments below. I'm not gonna beat myself up about that. When she started getting on that, I remember being there the day her hair fell out, you guys. And my mother has beautiful, like when I say beautiful hair, like she's the type of person who would cut her hair off and it will grow back like that. Like she never had a problem with growing her hair. One of her main characteristics about her that I really loved was her hair, her smile. She always kept up with herself, but I always like really loved like her hair, her smile. So I remember being there, y'all, and she had a bandana on. And I think they told her that it was gonna happen, or she already kind of figured that it was gonna happen, but she took off her bandana and she started going like this. And I really didn't want her to do it. For some reason, I just didn't want her to do it because I knew it was gonna break her. So she started going like this to her hair, you guys, and her hair was just falling, like just coming out. And it wasn't like too bad, but it was coming out, like it was really coming out, you guys. And I was just trying to, while she was doing that, I'm rubbing her back, but I'm looking up beautiful women. And this is really what I was doing, because I just wanted to encourage her. I just really wanted to uplift her during that time, because I didn't want her to feel like I'm not beautiful no more. Like I'm not beautiful without my hair. So I was looking up the girl off of Love and Basketball. She had cut her hair at the same time, you guys. Like she really went bald and she looked really fire with it. So I looked her up. I also looked up Amber Rose, but I knew she was gonna look at me like, so I looked her up. The girl who played off Love and Basketball, you guys. Help me with her name too down in the comments, y'all. Forgive me. But I looked her up and she looked phenomenal. Like she looked bomb during this time. They both didn't have hair at the same time. So I showed her and I was like, Mom, she looks really good. And I was like, you can do this. Like it's really nothing. Like you can do this. You're beautiful. Your face is still bomb. You still got that glow about yourself. Like you got this. And this was before she was losing weight or anything. The only side effect that she was having at the time is she was getting weak and her hair started falling out. So, you know, I'm just showing her and she just started bawling, you guys. She was bawling so hard, it made me bawl. But during this whole process, she never saw me cry. She never seen me cry. Even one time I had a really bad breakdown. I had just got off the plane. They sent me home, and this was about 4 days before her passing, but I'm kind of getting ahead of myself, forgive me. So yeah, she was bawling, you guys, and I just kept, you know, I just stood by her side the whole time. I even called my dad and was like, just let her know, you know, her hair is falling out right now, but just let her know, you know, how much you love her. And, you know, just trying to keep her in good spirits. I've never seen my mom so down ever. Like, this is an upbeat woman about her crap. Like she don't play. And just to see her at such a vulnerable moment, I can count probably on one hand how many times I've seen my mom get into it with somebody, cry. And I mean this. I'm not just saying that. How I can count on probably one hand, maybe a little bit of this hand too, how many times I've seen her cry, get into it with somebody or anything like that. Like my mom was like a real ass go-getter, boss ass, like, forget my language, but she pretty much got along with everybody. She put us on, we was leaving school, y'all. She had her own daycare that she was not supposed to have. We can talk about it now, but she wasn't supposed to have this daycare. She even got a billboard put up with her daycare put on it, y'all. They made her take that shit down. You know, just the good memories about her. I have so much of her in me, you know, and I miss her so much. But yeah, you guys, so that part happened, and then we're gonna skip forward to the time when she really was, like, the cancer was really beating her. I remember this was 2019 November, 2018 November. So remember, she told me that she had it February 2018. This is my birthday. Now, how I knew it was getting critical was she never forgets my birthday. Like, never. She didn't call me for my birthday. No days after, I tried to contact her, and then that's when my dad told me that, you know, it was kind of progressing. You know, she was kind of losing her memory and stuff like that, and not to worry, but if I wanted to come home, I could. Of course, I came home. So I came home and she just looked so different, you guys. And this was a pop-up. She didn't know that I was coming. I just got off the flight. They brought me to her. And I remember going into the bathroom, you guys, and just looking at her. And I just could not believe, you know, what I was seeing. Just how little she was. She could barely talk, but she knew who I was, you know, and I was just happy about that. The whole trip, you guys, so I try to do stuff that will keep her mind going. So we played like card games, we would do crossword puzzles, we'll try to beat each other, you know, just trying to do different things. She wasn't supposed to drive a car, you guys, but I allowed her to drive a car. Girl, she ran over the curb. I'll never forget these things, and I just love her so much, and I miss her. Like, just losing your mom at that young of an age. A lot of people say that I remind them of Meg. And the only thing that I can say that me and Meg have in common is we're tall, we're chocolate girls, and of course we bosses. But she lost her mom, and we literally lost our moms at the same time. We're the same height. We lost our moms around the same time. I believe we're the same age. I think she's a couple months behind me. And yeah, y'all. But so comes a time when it was like really time for her to pass. I went down there 3 days before because they called me, not 3 days before. My dad called me and said, the doctor said that she only had about 2 weeks, I believe, 2 to 3 weeks. She didn't have long to live. And that if I wanted to come home to just prepare to see her, you know, kind of at her worst, and to prepare for her passing, you guys. And my heart just dropped. But of course I dropped everything, and thank God to the people that were over me. Thank God to my chain of command who was over me then, who, you know, allowed me to just leave. But I would get into another thing that I didn't like about being in the military during that time. But yeah, you guys, so I got there, and this is the time that I just bawled. She could not talk. She was on a breathing tube. Anytime you take the breathing tube out, she was grasping for air, like she needed it. At that point, she needed it. There was no way she could breathe without the breathing tube. We would take it out because, of course, she needed her nutrition and everything. We would try to feed her real quick and put the thing back on her nose, but it was kind of hard for her to eat and try to breathe. It was just so much, you guys. But I just wanted my mom to live. So anything that the doctors told me that I needed to do, I would even get up in the middle of the night. Let me do y'all jobs since y'all not coming in here checking on my mom. And even though at that point they're just like, I know you want to hold on to her, but it doesn't look like it. And in my head, I'm like, y'all can fight a little harder. Like, y'all don't believe in God? Come on, let's pray together. Let's do something. But at that point, everybody just knew, like, it was just her time. You could tell, like, she was getting tired. She would be laying in the bed, like, just looking up in the sky. And I never knew if she was crying or if the tube was making her eyes water, but she would just, like, tears just be falling down her eyes. And I just felt so bad. It was nothing that I could do, but I was trying to do everything that I could. And, y'all, I can talk about it now, but I'm still a little shaky, but I can talk about it now, but before I was not able to talk about it. And that's when it's gonna come with the alcoholism and everything. I'm gonna get into that. But I stayed with her during that time, and it was my time to leave, you guys. It was my time to go back home. And I got to work the next day, you guys, and I got the call. I got the call, and I flipped. I was at work in the Marine Corps. And during that time, I had just got in trouble. I got in trouble because just all emotions about my mom and everything just started to really get to me. So, but I remember falling out. I remember screaming, and it's like I believed it, but at the same time, I wanted to see for myself. I was so ready to go, like I was ready to go right then. I remember going in my house, and I just could not, it just felt like everything was just moving slow. It just felt like I wasn't alive for real. I didn't want to be alive for real, if we're being honest. And I just wanted to know, like, Like, why? Like, couldn't they have done something else? There's people out here, and these are just the things that I'm thinking, and it is what it is. But just thinking in my head, like, how good my mom was, like how great of a person, you know, never negative about nothing ever. You know, how could she be gone, and some other people that are here, how they not gone yet? You know, so just different things that, you know, was going through my head. But that happened, you guys, and I just started drinking. When I left the next day to get on my flight to go to her, prepare for her funeral and everything, and I was only able to stay 3 days. And this when I get into the whole military thing, which I was ready to get out. I thought I was gonna stay in. I thought I was gonna maybe do longer, but at this point, I just knew. I already knew. No matter me getting in trouble and all this stuff, I did get out honorably, but I did get in trouble because of, you know, just going through different things. And if you guys want to know that story time, I'll tell that story time too. But just going through different things and just battling with my mom leaving, I did get in some trouble. Thank you, God, that everybody knew what was going on anyways. My whole chain of command. Thank you to my chain of command. But I was only able to stay there 3 days, which means the first day, it wasn't the funeral. The second day, it was the funeral. The next day, they were preparing to bury my mother, but they didn't bury her that day. They was burying her the next day, which I had to leave, or I was going to be AWOL. So I wasn't fortunate enough to see my mom get buried. I was on FaceTime seeing my mother get buried. And it's just a lot of things that I play in my head. But at the same time, I just thank God that I was the daughter that I was. I was the child that I was. I always obeyed. I rolled my eyes a lot, but I never talked back, never talked down. No matter how much I disagreed. My mom still doesn't know a lot of stuff that I disagree with her about. She still doesn't know. That's just the type of child I was. I always obeyed, even if I felt like something was just completely wrong. I just did what I was told, and I'll have an attitude, but just do what I'm told. So yeah, you guys, so I didn't get to see my mom get buried. I did lose my mom, and I miss her greatly. I'm not gonna make this video too long, but if you guys would like a part 2, just let me know in the comments below. I love you guys so much, and I thank you guys so much for your continual support. If you guys are going through this right now, I'm telling you, you guys can pull through. It does get better, but it doesn't get easier. It gets easier, but I don't know about better, because I think about her all the time. I think about how young I am and how much stuff I could still be learning from her, and how probably much further ahead I would be if I could just have a little bit of her guidance still here with me. But it is what it is, and I understand that she is with me. And like I said, if you're going through this right now, my heart pours out to you, whether it's your mom, grandma, dad, anybody who was actually there for you to raise you. My heart really does go out to you, because this is a hard time. And just a little bit on the alcohol side before I get way too far ahead of myself in this video. I did get into alcoholism really bad, really tough. I mean, I didn't grieve correctly. I completely slowed down my whole grieving process, because whenever I would feel, I would drink. So it really just suppressed it. So now that I am completely healthy, completely not drinking or anything like that, I have had these last 6 months to actually really sit down, talk to my therapist, and grieve. So that's really a good one thing that I can tell you. One piece of advice that I could give you if you're going through this is seek help, and please grieve the correct way, because it will take you years, and I mean years, if you're suppressing it through any type of drug, alcohol, anything like that. So don't do that. And I love y'all, and I hope this, you know, kind of touched somebody or made somebody else realize that, you know, you're not the only one. But I love y'all. Let me get off of here, and until next time, peace, y'all.